Hi guys, it's Miss Coombe, and I was hoping to be one of your mystery readers this year, but mystery readers happens when we're in our classrooms, and we can't really do that, I don't think, right now properly. But I would love to read you a story, and it is one of my favorites from when Miss Coombe was a little girl, and it is called Corduroy. Corduroy is written by Don Freeman. One thing I like about this book is it always reminds me that good readers are always thinking while they're reading, and we're making connections. So if something reminds you about yourself in a book, it's called a book to self connection. So there's lots of things in Corduroy that make me think about times in my own life. You'll see what I mean when we get started. Corduroy. Corduroy is a bear who once lived in a toy department of a big store. Day after day he waited on the shelf with the other dolls and toys for someone to come along and take him home. The store was always filled with shoppers, buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a bear in green overalls. Then one morning, a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mummy," she said, "look! There's the very bear I've always wanted." "Not today," her mother sighed. "I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He's lost the button to one of his shoulder straps." Now here's what I'm talking about, a book to self-connection. This reminds me of when I have gone to a store and wanted to buy something, or maybe you've gone to a toy store and wanted your mom to buy something for you. And you say, "Oh, not today, too expensive," or "I've spent too much already." Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. "I didn't know I'd lost a button," he said. "Tonight I'll go and see if I can find it." Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his button. Suddenly, he felt the floor moving. Quite by accident, he had stepped onto an escalator and up he went. Have you ever been on an escalator before? Could this be a mountain, Corduroy thought. I don't think so. I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain. He stepped off of the escalator on the next floor, and there before his eyes was an amazing sight. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds. "This must be a palace," said Corduroy. "I've always wanted to see a palace." He wandered around admiring the furniture. He saw something big and soft. "This must be a bed," Corduroy said. "I've always wanted to sleep in a bed." And he climbed up onto one of the big, thick mattresses. All at once he saw something small and round. "Oh, here's my button," he said. He tried to pick it up, but like all the other buttons on the mattresses, it was sewed down tight. He yanked and pulled with both his paws until pop, off came the button, and down Corduroy toppled. He banged right into a floor lamp, and it made a big crash. Corduroy didn't know, but he wasn't alone in the store that night. A night watchman was going about on his rounds of the floor above. He heard the crash and came running down the escalator. That's not safe. "Oh, who in the world did this?" he exclaimed when he saw the lamp. "Oh, I don't know. Somebody must be hiding around here," he said. He flashed his light over and under, until he came to a great big bed, and he saw two fuzzy brown ears poking up from under the covers. "Hello," he said. "How did you get up here?" The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator. He set him on the shelf in the toy department amongst the other dolls and toys. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers arrived in the morning. There, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he had seen the day before. "I'm Lisa," she said, "and you're going to be my very own bear." Last night I counted the money I had in my piggy bank, and my mommy said I could bring you home. She's going to spend her own money. That is very responsible. I like that. Shall I put him in a box for you? The saleslady said. Oh, no, thank you, Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home, right in her arms. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight into her room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl's side bed stood a little bed just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like the enormous palace in the department store. Corduroy said, "This must be home. I know I've always wanted a home." So Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap. Can you see that picture? There we go. And she began sewing a button on his overalls. "I like you the way you are," she said, "but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened." "You must be a friend," said Corduroy. "I've always wanted a friend." "Me too," said Lisa, and she gave him a big hug. Big hugs to you guys too. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.